We just finished shooting a beautiful property video and it made me think about moving. Moving can be hard, but we all have to do it at some point in our life. So today we're going to discuss the top tips when you're ready for the big move. Joining me today for this episode is a special guest, Alex Pearson. What's your first tip, Alex?
First tip, Kev, is put all hanging clothes in bin bags. That way you're keeping them all together nice and neat and tidy, but also it makes it easier when you do finally move, you can take them all out and you're keeping them nice and clean.
Tip number 2, snap a photo of your electronic device setup, whether it be your TV, surround sound, Foxtel, whatever it may be. People don't remember this, but once you move, you need to reconnect all those cables and you're probably not going to remember what cable goes where. So take a photo of it and that way it's so easy. As soon as you set up your new home, you just know exactly what cable needs to be plugged in where.
The third tip for today is to make sure you label and color code all of your boxes when you do move. That way you know exactly where everything is, saving plenty of heartache for when you've got the long task of unpacking.
Well, one way to get over a broken down relationship is you just cross this bridge and then you move on to the next bloody relationship.
And if you want to end up like Papa, you simply just get your tools out and you build a bridge.
Next tip, store your electronic cables inside a toilet roll. That way they're not going to get tangled up and it's going to be so much easier to manage when you're unpacking and trying to reconnect all your devices.
Hey Kev, have you seen the toilet paper?
And the next tip for today is to grab your fragile glassware and when you pack it up in socks or use bubble wrap. Sounds obvious, but the last thing you want is to get to your new property and everything's smashed up.
Next tip is wrap your drawers with cling wrap. Pull the whole drawer out, wrap it with plastic cling wrap, and once you get to the next property, unwrap it and go straight back inside.
And my next tip for you today is to make sure that you put all of your heavy items into a suitcase. Therefore, it makes it much easier when you do move out. You're not going to put your back out because they generally have wheels, go straight into the new property. You can store books, picture frames, and even clothes in the suitcase. Makes life much easier when you do move into the new property.
The next tip is slide heavy furniture items using a magazine. Rather than straining your back, all you need to do is grab a few magazines and pop them under your furniture, and then it's nice and easy. All you do is slide it along.
The next tip is to label all of your boxes 3, 2 and 1 in an order of unpacking urgency, and make sure all boxes labelled number 1 go into the truck last, therefore they're going to come off first when you move into the new property.
Snap lock sandwich bags are your best friend when you're moving. It can store things like jewellery, keys, nuts and bolts, and make sure you label these sandwich bags as well, so once you get there you know which bolts and which nuts go for which piece of furniture.
We've also got a couple of bonus tips for you today, one of which is to pack everything from the fridge and freezer, put them into an esky, therefore when you move into your property on night 1 you can have a fresh home cooked meal.
And while you're moving, the last thing you want to do is accidentally lock yourself out, so make sure you put elastic bands on both sides of the door so you don't lock yourself out. I hope you enjoyed the tips that we shared with you today. If you know of anyone that might find some value from these, please tag them, and of course if you've got any other questions or any other topics you'd like us to do a video on, mention them in the comment section. And lastly, please like our Facebook page, and of course don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube videos as well.
Thanks for joining us today. We cannot wait to see you next time.